Hi everyone. I hope you're doing very, very well and your practice is going well with all the free time that you're having without school right now. Today we will be talking about a new composer. We've had Mozart and Bach up until this point. Day 3 today is a composer that I'm sure you've all heard of, Beethoven. I hope that I'm going to be able to tell you a couple interesting facts that maybe you haven't heard about him and maybe give you some listening assignments that you haven't heard perhaps. Ludwig van Beethoven is our day 3 composer of the day. Ludwig van Beethoven was born in Bonn, Germany on December 16, 1770. From a very early age, he showed a talent for music, and he learned to play the piano and violin from his father, who was a singer. By age 11, he had already written his first composition. When Beethoven was 17, he traveled to Vienna for study, and while there, he performed for Mozart, who was 30 years old at the time. Mozart was very impressed by Beethoven's talent and allowed him to study music with him in Vienna. Mozart felt that Beethoven would give the world important music worth listening to. In Beethoven's early 20s, he left Bonn for Vienna, which was the cultural capital of Europe, and settled there to teach, compose, and perform. Another very famous composer of the time, Franz Joseph Haydn, invited Beethoven to be his student as well. So this Beethoven was actually a student of two very, very important and famous composers, both Haydn and Mozart. Early in his career, people thought his compositions were a bit too strong and too forceful and hard to understand. However, when his recognition came, he was treated as an equal to those who paid him money to write music. Beginning in the late 1790s, Beethoven began to lose his hearing, and by the age of 40, he was almost totally deaf. This hearing loss obviously affected his personality, and he became angry and irritable. His condition tormented him and forced him to abandon his playing of the piano entirely and to devote himself except only to writing music. One of his greatest works, his Ninth Symphony, was written entirely while he was deaf. He died on March 26, 1827, in Vienna, Austria. Beethoven was best known for his instrumental musical compositions, including symphonies, quartets, sonatas, and concertos.